Welcome to the Let It Bleed podcast, a place where you can hear the liquor-fueled ramblings of two narcissistic wizards who conjure the essence of inspirational people every week and bring it straight to you.
And just how do you plan on doing that? Magic. Motherfucker.
And now for the wizards themselves, David Amaya and Phil Arroyo.
Perfect. Nailed it.
What up? What up, dude? Are you watching scary movies right now?
Oh, no. We were watching Dolemite is My Name. Have you seen this yet?
Yeah. I've seen
yeah.
all the Dolomites and the
They're
new one.
so great. And you've seen the new one, the Netflix Eddie Murphy one, though, right?
Yeah. And that's the one I knew you were talking about that you were just watching.
Yeah.
I imagine. But yeah, that one's good. I don't know how I feel so much about Eddie Murphy playing it. I feel like there could have been somebody else playing it because I don't feel like Eddie Murphy's just so distinctly Eddie Murphy. You know, like...
Yeah, it definitely is. It's hard to not see just Eddie Murphy there.
Yeah, because he has way more, I guess you could say, flair to him than Rudy Ray did. Like, Rudy Ray was more, like, simple. Like, almost kind of like... He was kind of more, instead of like an Eddie Murphy character, he was more like a character you would have seen on like, I'm trying to, like, you know, Chappelle Show or something, like in the back, like one of the side characters or something.
Yeah.
You know, like a Charlie Murphy, but like not even as as character, like he's just kind of more, just
like Donnell Rawlings would do or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was a great movie, man, and I thought it was cool because that's kind of like, the story, obviously, when I was watching it, reminded me a lot of, The Disaster Artist in the way, obviously, that...
I was going to say, this is what I kind of more wish The Disaster Artist was. I just, had that thought when you're watching it again.
Yeah, and so it's like, there's these people who are just kind of a little off, you know what I mean? Like, there's something, like off of that.
I guess way more so.
Yeah, I guess that what I'm trying to say is that, like, Eddie Murphy made Rudy Ray Moore seem a little less, like, kind of just out there in terms of, like, wow, is this guy for real? Like,
you just wrote a fucking headline right there for your fucking Rotten Tomatoes piece that you just wrote about the movie.
Are you going to submit it?
Yeah, Rudy Ray Moore brings a little bit less believability in Dolemite is My Name. A scathing 1-star review by David Amaya for Teen Vogue with Rotten Tomato emoji next to it. Damn.
That's funny. Except I said the opposite of what you just said, so yeah.
No, just using that headline, though. We're extrapolating from there.
Got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great movie, and I just thought, like, it was kind of inspiring to me, like, just that it's that simple, like, just don't give up, who cares what anybody tells you, just do what you're gonna do, and do it for the fun of it, like, and it's kind of nice knowing that, like, after watching those movies for real, literally the first time I watched them, I'd heard about them and knew about them for a long time, but I really actually, like, started watching them maybe a few months ago, and I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yes.
Like, this is like a really popular movie among
the
black community.
Yes.
It's like, what the hell? Like, you're like, okay, is this a comedy or is this not a comedy? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't tell whether it's a comedy or not. Like
those are the best ones.
Yeah, but like all those blaxploitation and even just like the spaghetti west, like all those types of like movies back in the day were bad when it came to action, but like that was just a whole other level.
Yeah.
like
what the fuck am I watching? Oh man. It just brings me so much fucking joy. That's actually what I was really taken aback by in this movie too, and that, like, I realized, damn, there's like basically no conflict. Like, every time a problem's introduced, it just gets resolved 2 minutes later in the same scene sometimes. And I just felt good throughout the whole movie. It was such like like, gives the audience exactly what they want. Just like kind of serotonin drip, kind of happy movie. And I was
You're
like,
right.
damn, I don't see that
is-
very often anymore. And so it was just like, oh, it's nice because when everything's Game of Thrones, yeah, to switch that up a little bit, it's like cool. I'm like, oh shit, this is just a good, happy story. Fuck yeah.
Well, on that level, that's kind of like a theme I feel like from watching a couple other movies too, or one movie and then a show. I wanted to get into right away, but I guess I'm going to save it a little bit later since we're going off of this about a movie that we had talked about before that you recommended like over a year ago, and I finally got around to watching it. But before I get to that,
oh, the suspense is killing me.
Before I get to that, there's a show on Netflix that's out right now, and it's kind of along the lines of what you said for me, like where it, despite the subject matter, which is something that I normally wouldn't even care for, which just happens to be like, wow, that was great. It's those Santa Ana winds giving you those allergies,
Yeah.
huh?
Shit.
Yeah, dude, that's...
Why'd you have to comment on it when I did it away from the mic? So now everybody just hears you going crazy.
Oh, it was
I have to
loud
leave it.
as
I have to try to
fuck.
leave it in now because that was a fucking great joke. The fucking Santa Ana wins.
The Santa Ana winds.
Yes,
Straight
I
up.
still have allergies. They're still killing me. And now everybody
Yeah.
gets to experience it.
I was gonna say if I sound nasally, extra nasally, more than usual, that it's because of that. But, yeah, this show called Daybreak. Have you seen it? It's on Netflix.
Daybreak.
It's new, and it's okay. So without giving too much away,
Is it like superpowers or some shit?
no.
Is it like it looked like the Warriors or like Red Dawn, but like with weird. I don't know, some like weird shit like that, but like in a
it's
and Dead
Yeah.
Rising on Xbox. It looked like the combination of those three.
So for me, the combination that I say it is it's Zombieland meets Turbo Kid meets Mad Max meets some sort of like high school drama, whichever one. Pick your high school kind of like drama where there's just drama, the kind of your average day-to-day high school drama, and I guess a little bit of that one show, The Society, where the kids there's like no adults left for some reason. The adults just disappear and these kids are left to kind of create and form their own society. So it has a little bit of that in there as well. And it's a like, I'm not very big into zombie type shows, like stuff where there's like an outbreak and there's like zombies and ghouls or whatever. But this one, it's not. It's just kind of using all of that as a way to tell a story. It's definitely not meant to be taken seriously. It's really stupid. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
horribly
it looked
stupid.
really stupid from the
Yeah.
Like how you're scrolling and they just start auto playing a trailer, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because it looked like there's Jonathan Taylor Thomas with Daybreak over his face. I'm like, why did I ever click on that to see what that is? And then I saw that shit, and I was like, okay, all right.
Honestly, I guess you could say that guy is sort of the central or main character, even though they split it up. But he's the least likable character of the show. That is kind of, for me, what makes the show is the characters, but also the jokes. It's set in the town of Glendale, so you just see like all these familiar buildings, and they do a really good job of making it look like this like wasteland of like Glendale turned into a wasteland. I'm not quite sure if it's CGI or they just spend a shit ton of money on really like going to the buildings and making it look as though they fucking it's obviously a combination of both, but it's pretty fucking hilarious, dude. And the best part about it is there's this little girl, she plays a 10-year-old, but she's actually like 12 in real life, but still really young, and she steals the fucking show, dude. She is I just don't even know how she swears so good and how she talks shit so well. It's like people my own age don't even fucking know how to do that. How can this 12-year-old girl understand how to just like just be such a good shit talker? Like, and she just kills it. And I think the jokes alone are worth watching it, but not in a serious way. It's kind of like what you were just saying with Dolemite, where it just
seemed very tongue-in-cheek, like
it's
hey,
just
we're
feel
making a
good.
dumb
Like,
thing.
yeah, there's like, okay, there's a problem, and then like a minute or two later, something happens where they fix it, and you're like, oh, okay, like it's kind of like that humorous poking fun at like this disastrous situation, you know, that I think that kind of people fear about in the world, like nuclear holocaust and shit like that, you know, like what would happen. It's almost kind of like, man, take me there already. Like, you know, yeah, but in all seriousness, I liked it, and I thought it was
Christian
funny.
propaganda.
Mark Kingsley, my friend, posted on Facebook, it's the worst show that he could not stop watching. So I thought.
Oh, I think I saw that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I thought that was a good way to describe it. The worst show that he couldn't stop watching.
Okay.
So there's that, and let's see, what else did I miss? I want to just say that I saw that show, or the movie, sorry, that you talked about, and it hasn't been put onto Hulu or any of the sites that I have, so I just gave it and rented it. Brixby Bear.
Oh shit, Brixby Bear.
You're like, oh, you totally forgot about it, huh?
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Dude,
I like that movie.
I just finished watching that like right now, before we started the call.
Oh man, so what do you think?
And I thought it was a great movie. I mean, like, I want to say it's almost pretty believable, you know, like almost realistic enough to seem like legit, you know, like that something like that could have happened in real life.
Yeah.
But it was I mean, also just the level of creativity that they went to for the props and like kind of like creating that little world within that. It just
felt so like lovingly crafted, you know?
Yeah.
The whole movie.
And it makes you think, you know, it made you really consider, like, obviously, you know, from the, like, it puts you, you're put into one setting, and then it just flips it on you, and you're like, wait, well, I guess, you know, it makes abduction not seem so bad. Like, I mean, obviously, we know that that's bullshit.
Not quite.
Yeah, but
I think you got the wrong message, but still.
No, but like, it's the message, like, you get that, but like, it still makes you think, like, fuck, you know, that is a tricky situation for the person. How fucked up like that would be for the family and everything like that. But I guess, you know, it's a happy ending. They turned the situation around and like really learned how to let go of what probably would have ruined, like, just been a really, really shitty situation for everybody in that in that real life scenario, you know?
Yeah.
But it was, I thought it was great, you know? Makes me want to go kind of like make props and make my own TV set, except not abducting
right? They
children.
make it look so like, if you can get like just enough people that could be like really into just doing something dumb like that's super fun.
Right. I mean, it made me think about like, somebody thought to create the fucking Muppet Show, and you know, somebody thought to create all that shit, and look where, like, you know, Sesame Street, and then you had Mr. Rogers, like, that shit was dope as fuck growing up, you know, getting kids to use their imagination. But this kid, like, he just like, that became his life. That was like the only thing. Could you imagine having grown up and only watched one television show?
Yeah, right.
Like, all of, like, there's just one show. Like, imagine how obsessed you would be with that one show.
Kyle was like, he did such a good job with that too.
Yeah, exactly,
just
right? Like,
obsessiveness. I was like, man, I just fucking feel it creepily, like, in my bones.
Yeah, he nailed it as an actor. I mean, it was a stellar performance.
I was very
awesome.
surprised. I'm like, is this the dude who just used to go to baseball games and be like, so what's it about baseball?
Yeah,
and then everybody
that
like,
guy.
What? I'm like,
did I ever tell you the story where I thought I was being punked by that guy?
Yeah, no, yeah, we've told this story before, and and then like, oh shit, we thought he was doing a Kyle Mooney bit.
Yeah, I thought, like, I mean, obviously, okay, full disclosure, I was fucked up on, you know, things that make your mind
go
fucked up.
Go bump in the night, it's Halloween, ooh, scary children.
Yeah, anyway, so I was just it was at Lightning in a Bottle, and he was like dancing and came around our camp and was just like asking really weird questions, this guy, and he looked like him and sounded like him, kind of like in those bits that he used to do where he'd go like you're right, to like baseball stadiums and like just say weird shit to people, or like go and like ask about smoking weed with people and like doing weird stuff to punk them. And I was just like thinking, because this guy was so insanely ridiculous. Those Santa Anas are really fucking just
God damn it.
You did that on
can't
purpose
hear
that
this
time. I
when
know,
I do this. You don't. Well, now they're going to.
Oh man, gosh, I thought I had it bad. But yeah, that was a crazy movie. Anyways, I'm glad you recommended it. I'm glad I finally watched it. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. Definitely.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie, and like I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it's like a good movie to go back to.
For sure. So like, what are you doing for Halloween, Phil?
Well, I actually have to go to work tomorrow, but
Oh.
at the office in San Francisco, so I've got quite a day ahead of me. I gotta get up at like 5:30 to catch a plane, and then I work there all day, and then I come back at like 10, and then I think, yeah.
Oh, so you're not even staying there?
No, I'm coming back tonight or tomorrow night, so it's just gonna be a fucking day, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, go to San Francisco? Hell yeah, go to San Francisco and you're coming back in the same day. No way.
Yeah.
Not down.
No, chilling out, having dinner, like staying in a hotel that I can just, none of that.
So is this for like a video game rollout, or what's this for?
Yeah, we're doing some, actually, I don't know what I can talk about, actually. I think I can probably say in general, it's like some Rainbow Six shit,
Oh.
So it's the kind of thing where we bring people out, and then I show them, how to play the game, what the game is, the stuff that we haven't released yet, and then I help them record it, and then they take it back to, wherever they live, and then they post up their video, and their video gets 100, 200, 500,000 views, and that's, kind of my job.
Wow. My little cousin started like his own YouTube channel for video gaming. Yeah. He's like really little. He's probably like 8 or 9.
It's all the rage now. It's what the kids want to do.
Yeah, he's pretty legit with it. It's pretty crazy. I can't even imagine doing that at that age, when I was that age, like having that available to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much like technical. That's what's kind of cool about a lot of this shit too, is that it's kind of this idea is forcing kids to like really learn to go to YouTube and like teach themselves how to like do all this shit, like this YouTubing thing and all these. I see this kind of portrayed a lot as like this very, negative thing, which in a lot of ways it is. Like all these kids want to be YouTubers now. They don't want to be doctors and shit. Of course, I'm sure they were saying the same shit about us when we were kids, but
right.
What it does do though is it kind of forces them to want to learn how to like they accidentally learned a bunch of really marketable skills, because you're talking about kids who are learning how to not just perform, and be in front of a camera or get better at just playing the game, but also that curiosity leads them like, okay, how do I learn how to stream, like how to produce a show, how to make a stream, what people would want to see, like how to do video, how to edit video, how to shoot stuff, and all these like really like very marketable skills there. And so you kind of like, in a way, I think it's like educational in a lot of ways, almost as educational as the video games themselves can be, because they were telling us for, I mean, my whole life and shit. I'm sure you'll still probably hear this all the time. Oh, video games, rot your brain or whatever. It's the lowest form of medium, and you're wasting your time. But it's like, no, you actually, there's been tons of studies done now that talk about how much it actually, helps you out with your development, teaches a bunch of core skills and stuff like that to kids. Get down to like saving money and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I feel bummed about missing or like hopping off that train. And I know we've talked about it before, where I've said that I, wanted to get back into it, but now it's kind of like it's kind of like my Brixby Bear thing, like I'm so behind on that shit. I don't know anything about it. It's like, which part of this world do I step into? Because no matter where I step into it, like I'm going to get crushed in this world of competitive gaming, and I don't like losing games. So it's kind of like,
the thing is
I don't know.
There are so many ways to go that are like non-competitive. There's a lot of people who don't do any kind of multiplayer thing. There's tons of stuff out there for all different skill levels, so however you want to like get into it,
but
you
like
find whatever
it's
speaks
still
to you.
It's true, but then I know that it's another obsession I'd probably get into.
That's 100% true. Yes,
I'm already obsessed with so many things, and like
true,
I just don't have the capacity for it.
It will fuck up everything else.
I know, and that's the thing. It's like I'm so far behind, but I feel like it's kind of
you will
a necessary
never catch up
skill.
if you introduce gaming into the mix.
But I feel I'm so torn because I feel that the reason why kids, like you were saying, like they learn so much from this, and I think that understanding or just keeping up with the evolution of video games as rapidly as it changes or whatever, that it's in a way helping you keep up with technology in general, with just understanding how things work. And I don't know, that's just what it seems like anyways, because things,
I think what you do is that you find somebody who is playing a game that you can kind of get into. There's tons of co-op stuff and things like that out there,
like Everwing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Like, I mean, not like upset, but something like that, which is like an introduction into it, and that way you're doing it and somebody else is almost kind of holding you accountable, and that like you're not trying to play by yourself all the time. Yeah, like a gym buddy. Exactly. And use that as a moderating force rather than motivation to keep going,
Right.
And in that process, you kind of not just learn about video games, but you start to learn and understand like what the appeal is, because like goddamn, like I can't think of anything like really that's like definitely in top 2 of like 5 reasons that like or like 5 things I would want to do with my friends together, which is like, oh shit, like what if the 4 of us were all like just playing the same game, it's like a co-op thing, like that's, I don't know, that's the kind of shit that really speaks to me. And I think once you like, if you've been there, like I've been there, I was, playing, I've told the story before, but playing World of Warcraft for 10 years practically, and playing with a lot of the same people, to the point that these people, a lot of whom I have not met.
It's like when you guys went back in Nam.
Yeah, exactly. No, these are really legitimately my friends. Like I know a lot about them, and I went to somebody's wedding, and
That's
these are people
crazy.
I still talk to all the time. And even though there's some of them I still have not met, but I would still call like good friends of mine, even though I haven't played that game in like fucking 9 years.
Damn.
It's as real as anything else. And like once you start to play that with somebody, you'll start to feel that. You'll start to really like get it,
Right. I can imagine. I'm so like behind on things over here because I downloaded Candy Crush again because it's a mindless game, and I was just playing it while like doing, I guess it's like more of like a stress reliever thing, but like the reason why I downloaded that was because I was bored in between waiting for friends to respond on Words with Friends, which is a game I had never played Word with Friends before, and I never played Scrabble growing up. I've never played it, not once. Okay, I don't know why, but like every time who was it? Dave May asked me to play this game, Words with Friends, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't have time. He's like, just play, because he's bored and he's probably waiting on all of his friends to like respond, and they're like, no, we have lives, so we're not going to do that right now. And he's trying to bug me to play, so I start playing, and then of course he's like owning me because he's like, it's like Scrabble. I said, well, I never played Scrabble, I don't know, and obviously I kind of get that there's like a strategy to playing points and shit like that, which I think is just completely rigged by this fucking computer because it always seems to be just one letter short from the triple word or double. I don't know. It's just fucking dumb. But anyways, in the beginning, I'm looking for like just legit words, like nice words, but I'm not like playing it by the points. So I'm like over here getting worked by Pastry and Dave, and they're putting words like or like words that like E, like with the IE, like just like random shit at the like right place that they get like 36 points for fucking 2 letters. And I'm like doing these like long elaborate words and it's like 5 points. You're like, what the F, dude? I'm just getting mad, but yet of course I keep playing, and then so I'm starting to get better at it. I'm only losing by like 10 now and tying some people, not really getting creamed. But in between, I was like, "Fuck! I gotta download something else because I need that stimulation." So, Candy Crush it's been, and I'm pretty sure I'm losing a lot of brain cells because my head is just starting to hurt. I'm just staring at the screen all the fucking time.
Well, it's a lot of it's math, a lot of it's problem solving, it's thinking steps ahead. There is actual mental stimulation. You are doing work there.
I feel like it's just like them teasing me every now and then and drawing me in, like giving me, like letting me win just enough and like it's like, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy, piece of candy.
It's definitely that. It's a slot machine. They have millions of people putting in that data into their game for 600 levels, and they fucking study that shit and go, okay, how can we make this more like a slot machine? Like, literally, there's cherries falling down in, like, rows of 3 that you gotta match. Like, it's a fucking slot machine. And they give you just enough of that hit to get you to try to pay for something. That's
and they did. They totally did, because after every single play in the beginning, there was, like, a 30-second fucking ad that had to play. And then if you, like, exit to try to come back in, it was still stuck on the same part in the ad. So you're like, all right, fuck this. Because I gotta beat Dave, and so then I ended up paying, I don't know what it was, like $6 to fucking have no ads and like get some coins and shit that I blew right away. I mean,
and that is worth it.
It is.
I dare you to find something else that you spent $6 on that gave you that much enjoyment, that much joy, that many hours of entertainment.
Well, I certainly appreciate your outlook on it because I've been beating myself up.
You could watch a quarter of a movie, maybe.
Yeah.
And in 30 minutes, you're done. Sure, you spent $6, and you probably saved yourself a full 14 hours of your life of watching commercials on that fucking game.
Right.
Well,
that's true. Yeah.
And you play that game. You got the extra coins in it. You play that game for, let's be real, how most people play games, at least it adds up to an hour a day if it's for little bursts at a time. And if you end up playing it this time around for, a couple months, that's like 4 pennies a day for that hour that you're playing the game. You know what I mean? It is the most cost-effective way to enjoy yourself and entertain yourself, man.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyways, Phil, what do you think about them power outages in your area?
Oh, man. I heard those power lines were down and that they started a fire, but golly gee, the fucking...
I just got a message right now from a couple of friends.
This son of a bitch, for all the folks at home, this is an inside joke here, because he texted me earlier today. And it says, PG&E says there's going to be power outages in your area. Click on this link to see the map to see if you're going to be affected. And I'm thinking, oh, shit. Dave looked at the map and saw that maybe tonight when we're supposed to do the podcast, my power was supposed to be out. I better click on this map to see what he means. And so I click on the link. And I know what you're thinking at home because I'm also in the future. And I'm thinking... You're thinking, oh, this is a fucking trap. And you were right, because there was this big old white dick just swinging in the wind as soon as I hit that link. On my phone, just slap, 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 slap on, each leg going back and forth. And I was like, oh, God damn it, David. God damn it.
hey, just know that you were not alone. I had to experience this too. So we are like brothers, like back in Nam. We experienced something together.
Yeah, well, who did I think shot the video? I'm assuming that was just from your phone, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
You took that.
It's like,
you took that when you were hanging out with Dave May the other day.
It's like, it was like asking, hey, who sends dick pics? Like, I don't send dick pics. Yeah, you kind of do. It's like, no, don't worry, it's not my dick. So
yeah,
that's worse. You send pictures of other guys' dicks.
Still a big old swinging dick. Like that's, for the folks at home, don't worry. I'm gonna make it the episode photo.
Oh yeah,
and,
totally.
Yeah,
I love how Eric, who's probably listening to this right now, as he is the one to let us know when we
nothing
upload
happened.
this.
Nothing happened. I didn't upload the same episode twice. How dare you, sir? And I fixed it. I hope. I'm not sure if Spotify got the message. I just realized that tonight, actually. Fuck.
Shit. Well, he was over at and I sent him the text too, and he's like, "Oh no!" Like it's one of those things where I didn't know if he actually like linked on it or not because he didn't get upset. He was just like, "Oh, I'm in Anaheim. I'm chilling." I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's all like giving me logistical answers. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on the west side of the 57 freeway," and I'm like, fuck, how do I get this guy? Like, I was like, I don't know if he looked at it or not.
Oh, shit.
So I just put the little, like, emoji with, like, the Pinocchio long nose. And then he was just like, I didn't look at your link, though. Like, yeah, like he knew. Like, he knows. He's like, I'm not going to look at the link. So he's just like, I didn't look at it, by the way. I didn't look at it. Like, don't think I looked at it. Like,
that's exactly what somebody who just got an eye full of dick would say.
That or fuck you. Like, exactly like what happened to me right now.
I didn't look
with
at the link.
a
I didn't
couple
see
of
anything.
Yeah.
Well, folks, like every episode, we will have the links in the description so you too can look at this giant swinging veiny cock. Anyways,
I thought that was a good chat.
on to the news.
Yeah, this is a good segue into the news because that's what it basically is. Just one. That's
Speaking
what like our whole this
big swinging dicks. God, my dick was at half-mast on Sunday when I don't know if you saw this, but the president decided he'd go and catch the baseball game. And
yeah, I heard about that.
oh man, you see him on the jumbotron. There's all this footage of him, and he looks up, and they say, "Oh, when the president of the United States is here with us," and he smiles, and he waves at the camera, and the crowd erupts into boos. Just
what stadium
a whole
is this at?
crowd. It was is that the Washington Nationals Stadium? And so I don't know what that is because I don't really give much of a fuck about baseball. And then I was like, who the fuck are the Washington Nationals? So that's a whole thing. But yeah, and you can really see him go from happy and smiling because he thought it was going to be a great day that day. Because he woke up and got to announce that we had killed the leader of ISIS. And he thought that was his bin Laden moment. And for so many reasons, he shit the bed on that announcement, of course. But he was thinking, damn, I have just got an extra pep in my step. I think I'm going to actually try to hold Melania's hand. Fuck it, I'm going to go to this baseball game. And the crowd's going to love me today because I killed the leader of ISIS. But the president doesn't live in the real world. We do. The president has never left his world to come to ours. And god damn it, was it satisfying to see him go out there smiling, waving, thinking that the people were going to bring him in as a hero. And it's like, no, the people didn't forget. The people didn't forget the Kurds, the hundreds of Kurds that have been, beaten, burned alive, raped, drawn from their cars. The fucking horrible shit that he did, handing over the control of that area of the world to Putin and the worst actors possible. They didn't forget about all the children in cages and the children that have died. They didn't forget about the Epstein ties and the rape and the murder and the extortion and the stealing and the subversion of democracy. Nobody fucking forgot. And this was a beautiful thing for me to see because we don't live in communist China. You know, we don't live in Egypt. We don't live in North Korea. The president can go out in public. And I felt very American because the whole crowd went, fuck you. And we can, you know? And that was, I think, the most patriotic thing I had seen in a very long time. And it was beautiful because there are certain angles and certain times where you can look at it and it looks like he's crying.
No way.
Yeah. No, like it's not like a full-on cry, but like when somebody breaks for just like a half a second, you just see that little like twinge of pain in their face like they're about to.
Huh.
It looks like that.
Interesting.
And
Wow.
I take a look at this, like, you know that famous Simpsons episode where it's Valentine's Day and Lisa yells at Ralph.
Ralph, yeah.
And then Bart's playing it back over and over. He's like, see, look, you can see the exact moment when his heart breaks. It was just that, you know?
Okay.
And it was really so deserved because you see him finally, like, you see the real world crack into his own little bubble that he had protected to shield himself from the consequences of his actions for his whole life, basically. And to know that got through, that he had to feel for a second a fraction of the pain that he's inflicted on the rest of the world. It was just as porn, you know?
So was that like, because you said that he hasn't really come into our world, is that really like the first time he's gone to a sporting event or something?
That is kind of, yeah, actually. I think sporting event. He's only, I read somewhere that he's only ventured out like 3 times to like in front of a major crowd that he didn't like pay to
Is
be
not
there.
a rally. That's not a rally.
Yeah, that was like
basically.
not a rally. It doesn't
Okay.
happen very often because I think he knows and the people around him know that he can't just show up somewhere, you know, that people
Right.
fucking hate him and they will protest him everywhere they go. I mean, look, he canceled trips to London and stuff like that because they were flying that giant baby balloon out there, you know. He gets protested by millions of people when he goes to other countries. That's how fucking unpopular he is. And so they shield him from this, you know? They give him little fucking 4-page briefing booklets that look like coloring books every day with lots of pictures because he can't read words. And of course they filter out the whole world for him so he doesn't see things that will make him mad. And so
What?
to see that he fucking actually really believes this, like he had the balls to go out in front of everybody thinking that was going to be anything but what actually happened, was crazy to me because it speaks to how fucking sick this guy is, you know? How he would
Right.
still think that he'd be treated with a modicum of respect amongst all the people he has actively been seeking to hurt for the last 3 years and beyond, you know?
Right. Okay. So, but let's think about it this way: if he, let's say he did go to a place like another stadium, don't you think there are places in the country where he would have been met with that sort of with cheer and praise?
Maybe, but not at a Washington Nationals, not a
Right.
Washington
Well,
Nationals and Mets game.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, well, I mean, I don't know much about anything about the is it Washington Nationals, the Washington State, or is that Washington?
Like if you were
Washington D.C.
if you're at a concert and somebody brings out Donald Trump out here in California,
Of course,
It's
here
like-
in California, it's not
yeah.
gonna fly at all.
but the
like,
fact
I
that you
could
even
picture-
said "of course" like that is kind of my point. In that, like,
right,
there's no,
but but the point, there are other places. I don't know anything about like Washington, if that would be one of those states that, or one of the places where people are,
it's a very
as against him as
Democratic
like California.
area. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't too aware of like how that might go, but I could imagine like if he went to, Texas or maybe like Missouri or something like that. Or
I don't know, man. There's a lot of places where you can get in front of a spontaneous crowd, and like there's definitely a lot that would be safe. But to me, it was just, I don't know. It was beautiful. It was the people fucking speaking back. It was him having to do that, and to see it affect him too, because I always assume that he sees this stuff, that he's kind of aware of, at least loosely, his presence. I think on some level somebody is keeping him realistically aware of some shit, but apparently not. It was just so surprising for me to see him react like that. So I'm thinking,
I always got the impression
he
just doesn't give a shit.
That? Huh?
I always just got the impression that he like knows people hate him and he doesn't give a shit because he knows that there's a lot of other fucking people.
But
that,
that's
like,
the thing is he's so desperate, he's so needy, and he's so petty. Like, that's how I know that he actually does give a shit, because he's not doing the right thing. He's doing the, I'm gonna protect myself in this thing, and I'm gonna put myself in front of it. Like, it's so, I mean, it all just reeks of insecurity, of projecting and having these very deeply entrenched psychological issues,
Yeah.
And so that's, I mean, I was kind of surprised because I felt like there was somebody who was still around that was trying to keep him grounded, but I guess there really isn't, And it's like, it's kind of crazy to think that, like, when you see just the wheels coming off of the White House and the Republican Party in general every day, you think, God damn, like, on some level, you're like, there's no way they're this crazy. There's no way they're this bad. At some level, they're aware, and there might be some strategy to this. But then shit like that happens, and I'm like, damn, maybe there is no plan for them,
I'm trying
maybe
to think
all
of
of the
movie.
decent people have actually fucking left, and they're all just fucking screeching and fucking flailing out like raccoons that have been hit in the head with a shovel already and are kind of dazed, but they're still fucking scrappy and trying to get your eyes out. That's how I think of the modern Republican Party.
Right on. I'm trying to think of a character from a movie that what you were just describing him as like reminded me of, like somebody who just deserves so badly to be like hated, and it should be so obvious, but like they were actually expecting some sort of opposite reaction from the people, and they kind of look bummed by it, and it's just like, oh man, kind of like a comedic thing. There's a specific thing.
I don't know why I just got the urge to do a character that's Rudy Giuliani as Dolemite. Giuliani's my name, and fucking my cousin is my game.
Dude, somebody pulled out those videos of like Donald Trump and Giuliani from like back in
that was me,
the 90s
when they were cross-dressing.
Was it you? What? I didn't see it on your page though. It was somebody else that I saw.
Oh, okay. I posted a GIF of that recently, and I was like, who knew that these two weren't exactly the criminal masterminds they thought they were?
Oh no! So was it recently that you did that?
It was like a couple months ago.
Okay, so like some time ago, probably around like a couple months ago, I think it was my friend Liam who like just posted this video. It was like, what the fuck, like, is with the question mark, and like I was just like, what was that?
That was a real thing, man.
I know it was a real thing,
it's
but you
so
could just
weird to see them from like before. Like Brie was just putting on like a best of Chris Kattan, I think it was, and there's a sketch where Will Ferrell is Janet Reno. And he brings out Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it's just so weird to see him there, like, trying to be normal.
Where he's trying to be funny. And he's punching, like, he goes and he's like, Janet Reno's like, no, you don't. Shut up. Shut up, you liar. She's like, you're a liar.
You're a
all
liar.
liars.
You're
liars.
Oh, shit. It's classic.
Yeah. Did you notice that they changed the song in that bit? I don't know if you probably noticed that, but unless this is that Mandela effect and I'm tripping out, but my guess is that they probably changed it due to having to pay copyrights.
Definitely.
Because
they take all those out on the old SNLs that they like archive on like NBC and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was My Sharona, and then when I went and I just saw it recently, I forgot where it was being aired or YouTube or something like that. It was definitely a knockoff My Sharona song.
Oh,
it was
really?
not My Sharona. Yeah, it was definitely going for the same vibe. You know how like Family Guy will instead of playing like the song, they'll like play it just like a couple notes off or a slightly different change, but just kind of mimic it. That's exactly what
that'd be
did.
Such a sick producer job to be like bootlegging like old songs for NBC so that you could like
just
put
straight
them in
copying
there.
it.
Oh,
I could
shit.
do that.
That'd be great.
I could definitely do that. I could do that all day.
Like I think SNL had one of my favorite jokes I've heard in a minute over the weekend. Is do you know Congressman Matt Gaetz? I've talked about him before, but have you ever seen a picture of him?
I still don't
God
know
damn it!
him
I just opened up
and
the
know his
internet to
picture.
Google Matt Gaetz, and there's a big swinging veiny cock in my eyes. You son of a bitch! And
What
your
if it's really
goddamn
Matt Gaetz?
PG&E powder outages. I didn't realize the P in PG&E stood for penis.
Ah, there you go. You learn something every day.
But look up, just when you get a chance, look up Matt Gaetz. And I think Colin Jost on Weekend Update referred to him as, and, this weekend, Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz also, and Republican Congressman in live-action quagmire, Matt Gaetz. And just go ahead and Google yourself a picture of him when you get a chance. Because that was the funniest fucking thing I heard in a minute. That dude has a big gross face.
Let me see real quick. Wow.
I'll give everybody at home a second to just Google this fucking busted motherfucker.
I don't know how I feel about making fun of people I don't know, but I'm sure he's
Oh
a bad
no,
person,
he
so I'll laugh.
deserves it. He's the asshole who led the coalition of the stupid into that fucking the impeachment hearing room in a what's called a SCIF, secret compartmentalized intelligence facility. And this is like where in government where they discuss the most top secret shit in the world. You're not allowed to bring electronics in there. Like you are only supposed to go in there if you were, by name. These are secure rooms because they're talking about stuff that they can't, have people. And so if somebody brings their phone into the room, you literally don't know if your phone's being bugged by the Chinese or something like that, And so it's like a matter of national security to do that. And so these guys, there's like 20 of them. They call a press conference outside of the room. And they say, well, we need to know what's going on in there. Mind you, at this time, they conveniently left out that over a third of them were actually invited and supposed to be in the room as part of their job at that moment. But instead, they all fucking congregated outside, and they called the press conference. And they're like, we're going to go see what's going on in there. And then they just burst into the room with their phones on them and everything. And they crashed a fucking hearing. They crashed an impeachment hearing where they were questioning a witness. And it wasn't like it was just it was Democrats and Republicans in there questioning witnesses. And this big contingent of stupid just went ahead and did that, led by live-action quagmire Matt Gaetz. So this just kind of goes to show you the level of desperate raccoon that's already been hit with a shovel lashing out that we are seeing, because it's coming from all sides. Right now, they don't have a strategy because everything going on with impeachment is so bad and so easily provable and has so many corroborating witnesses that they have gone to literally physically obstructing justice. And it's, in a week where I also got to see the president cry, it's like I'm afraid we're gonna run out of things for me to get for Christmas. So, yeah, I just really want to stop winning, you know? I'm just tired of winning, as they say.
So that guy.
And that's why that's all I got to say about that.
That's all you got to say.
Oh no,
about
that was a terrible Forrest Gump. My God, I wish I was not too lazy to go back and make edits and pull things out and do things again. All right, that's not the kind of show we're running here. All right, one take and done. So we're at 50 minutes. You got anything you want to throw into this gumbo we call a show?
Yes,
before...
Tonight.
Yeah?
Tonight. Come over to the Tiki Bar in Costa Mesa and protect yourself from the deadly viruses that are about to plague the country. It's called the Trump meets Kanye in a room and have sex with each other and spread stupidity to the rest of the world virus. If you don't come to the Tiki Bar in Costa Mesa, you will get that among other...
Where they will be playing... We got a title subscription. We are playing the new Kanye album on loop all night. Come over. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen if you don't go to the... Tiki Bar.
They'll tie you down like a Clockwork Orange and just make you watch Duck Dynasty and play the Kanye album.
It's funny that you say that because I am currently swinging around my Riddler cane, which reminds me so much
I was like, don't say your dick. Don't say you're swinging around your dick. I don't need that visual again.
I was totally trying to do...
You son of a bitch.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, I am swinging around my big old Riddler cane, reminding me of the Clockwork Orange over here, as you were saying. Anyway, come on by. It's going to be dope. We've got Starwave, which is Riley Earthwave. We had him on the show with Marilyn. Marilyn will also be there because it's their group, Shavu, who is putting this on. And
Star Jones from The View.
Star Jones, Star Fox from...
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, the little space critter that's been on the show a few times is going to be there doing his thing. And together, I have to say, they kick ass. Out of all the bass sets I did
feel
here...
like Star Jones is also a little space critter.
Probably. Yeah. Kevin and Riley... Sorry, this is what a brand new cartridge of... THC will do to your brain after.
Oh man.
Yeah. So you got to come check them out. It's gonna fucking kick ass, dude. They're together. They're awesome. But we also have Chase, who's been on here. New Gent is gonna be doing his thing with Rainmaker. We've got Marble, another buddy who I think I'm gonna be bringing on the show here pretty soon. It's going to be on the music side, amazing. Got great art, but it's just a fun time. You know, it's a small bar with a lot of people that, know each other pretty well. Some really good friends. So there'll be definitely a lot of new faces to meet, no matter who you are. You know, people coming together at things like this. I've been really seeing a tremendous growth in the community of people like repeatedly going.
You should get that checked out.
Yeah, tremendous growth. No, it's a beautiful growth. You know, I'll ask my doctor where I can get some more of this shit.
It's the best. It's the best growth.
Yeah, it's the best growth that you can ever
People are
receive.
saying it's the biggest growth in the entire world. I don't know, maybe second biggest.
Fake news. No, it's awesome, man. Because aside from this, going back onto Art in the Park we just had was amazing. We just did our Monsters of Love Art in the Park and had just new faces out. Like, new faces completely, had new sound and new people contributing to the event. And
fuck yeah.
I'm super excited for next month's 2-year anniversary, which is currently standing. Has not been posted or shared yet, but just giving you the sneak peek now. The theme is going to be Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings. So...
boy.
Yeah, so you got to pick which side you're on, whether you're a wand wizard or a staff wizard. Shit's gonna get real. We're gonna have a fucking intense.
We're gonna play Quidditch. We're gonna bring a real life Balrog.
Yes.
We're gonna have a bunch of people in white hoods. It's gonna be fantastic.
Straight the fuck up. We're gonna have a wand and staff making workshop, so you could fuck each other up with them.
David's gonna disappear at one point wearing a gray outfit, and then reappear later in the day wearing a white outfit.
Straight the fuck up. But I'm gonna be like that guy, the wizard. Have you seen Role Models?
Yes.
Where like they're LARPing and there's just like the wizard chilling up like behind a tree, just casting spells on everybody as they're all fighting. He's just up there.
I'm bringing the beanbags.
Like he's just chilling up there, just like waving his wand and like casting spells. That's totally me.
We're gonna play football, but it's gonna be like LARPing football. So like if you get like cut with a sword, you're out.
Yeah, you gotta bleed it out. Let it bleed. Yeah, you gotta let it bleed there, son.
Throw spells. Oh no.
Anyway.
This is going downhill fast.
You gotta come out and check it out. Last year was amazing with the Del Taco versus Taco Bell.
Yes, it was.
A lot of people are bummed we're not still doing that one, but we might actually bring it out.
Funny story. That video, I think, got me a job.
No shit. Week. Really?
Yeah.
So it just surfaced somewhere? How did it get out?
No, I applied. I applied at this place last week or whatever, and it was for a videographer and graphic design position. And they're like, "Hey, send us a video portfolio." And so I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll put this in." Like this fucking weird thing we did, and then they fucking loved it. And then we started talking about like building brands and shit like that. And they were like, "Yeah, well, a big thing is we're trying to produce a podcast starting in December." I'm like, "Okay, shit, I gotta talk to you guys about some shit that's not on the resume here."
Straight up.
And then I got a job. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking
all
dope.
This shit worked out.
See, Art in the Park is really doing what it's supposed to do. That's what I said it was supposed to do. It's supposed to bring us together. We create art. We collaborate. We get jobs through this sort of thing,
And then we monetize our passions until we grind it to dust and it becomes just another instrument of the man to hold us down in a capitalist society. That's right, I refuse to even say that word correctly, all right? The Quest for Bread, out now in bookstores, wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's why at least we still have the decommodification thing going for us. We have yet to, that's the one Burning Man principle that we have naturally.
I traded a painting for 3 goats, and that's why Art in the Park is fantastic.
There's no bartering, it's gifting. You gave away a goat. And you were gifted.
Well, that's why I brought
paintings.
So many extra goats to Burning Man.
You get it right, Phil. It's gifting. It's not a freaking trade or barter system. Jeez, this isn't Mad Max. It's not barter.
Just had a bunch of confused hippies on mushrooms, and I'm teaching them how to milk a cow, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't drink that. Don't drink that."
Bro, those hippies know how to fucking milk a cow, bro. They
man.
They have like crazy workshops for all kinds of things over there. If you want to learn something, you're gonna learn it there. You're gonna learn.
I saw something on Twitter the other day that was a guy talking about how when he was a kid he had a teacher that taught like the 3rd grade class that Fire and Rain by James Taylor was about like a robot that was like losing his memories of like what it was like to be human, and it like he just went really elaborate, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And the guy's like, "I was like 27 before I was like hanging out with friends." And then they played that song, and I'm just like, yeah, it's weird. Like, you never hear anybody talk about, like, the whole robot part of this. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's
And
weird.
I was like, holy shit, I have never wanted to become a teacher worse in my life. Because just lying to children sounds like the most fun anybody could ever have.
Oh, gosh.
So I am excited that I have a new life goal. I no longer want to die at 40. I want to get old, become a teacher, and just tell hilarious lies to children.
See, but something sounds so sinister about lying to children, but lying to adults is perfectly fine, and apparently it gets you places in this
and
world.
no fun. Okay,
in the
I can't
presidency.
convince adults that like Anaconda was about like the
Then
War
you-
of 1812. Okay,
then you're
but
not
I can probably
getting-
convince some kids about that.
Yeah, but you're not getting creative enough, because if you could have heard some of the shit that I was
My
at
Anaconda
Mutate,
don't want to hear your bullshit right now, David.
bro, I was like,
My Anaconda don't.
you know, my role in Mutate was my character was a conspiracy theorist, cyber hacker. So what I would do is I would go around through the crowd and basically engage in conversation with people.
Basically, be Glenn Beck.
And yeah, I don't know who that is, but yeah, I would go around and freaking like get into these conversations with people who are pretty heady, pretty out there too. And you know, obviously, I do have a lot of really out there thoughts when it comes to things. You know, the possibility of certain things, more so than a lot of my friends. So I can already kind of open
sick thoughts.
I could already open up those gates and portals, right? But so I'll take these people down a certain lane that kind of, you know, has stuff that makes sense, like, you know, stuff that's, you know, we all question the kind of stuff that's like, yeah. And then I'll just go like super like, you know, I'll just flip it upside down or go a completely different direction. And they're just like, huh, look on their faces. But I say it so convincingly. Like, I'm not joking. I'm just like, I just roll with it. I'm just like, you know, like adding on, like, but totally making it up on the spot.
The Earth's not round or flat. The Earth's a hexagon, man.
Well, it's actually a simulation, so, you know, it doesn't really matter because it's
The
actually...
Earth is a Minecraft.
Yeah, it's basically whichever level you choose, and you don't realize that you choose these levels because just doing
That
this...
was the sound of my head exploding.
Boom. And then so, you know, going into all that, seeing the look on their faces and seeing how some of them... Like, it is totally like a social experiment, and you kind of feel like a dick, but you're like, this is so cool because I'm getting some acting in here now, and like... You know, I'm like doing my job. It's really fun. I don't know. I thought it was...
Goddamn.
Yeah.
You're making me want to do it.
You should definitely come do it. That's why that's what I'm doing tonight at the Tiki Bar at Costa Mesa, because we have...
That's right. Lawrence is going to be there. He just
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah, Lawrence is going to be there. I'm recruiting as many people. You should also come as well. It's going to be fun.
I am going to be in San Francisco, like I told you at the top of the show.
Yeah, but you're coming back.
Oh, that is just true. I'm coming back. Oh,
What?
yeah. Wait, what time are you guys getting started?
Well, I mean, it starts at 8 o'clock, so... or 7:30 is when...
Oh, that might work out nicely, actually.
7 is when the doors open. It goes till 2, just like anything else. Yeah.
I also have a job in the morning that I just started, so don't want to fuck that up too bad. But I can still do that.
That's
Costa
true.
Mesa, that's Uberable.
Yeah, as long as you don't pull a me, and pretty much is every single time. I mean, like last Thursday, it probably will happen because I usually have a thing where once I do something.
As long as you don't pull a hashtag me too.
Oh yeah, that too. And you know, like last couple Thursdays ago, it happened, and then no, it happened last Thursday. Like I went to Friday feeling like shit all day, and I asked why my fart smelled like Cabernet Sauvignon. It is probably going to happen again this Thursday this Thursday today, because I like to keep things consistent.
You're gonna dip your balls in Cabernet again?
No, my farts are gonna smell like Cabernet because I'm gonna drink like a whole bottle of it.
Classy.
After a bottle of Tito's.
No, what's extra classy is that you only ate grapes, and then you farted Cabernet.
Ah, that's miracle work right there.
And fucking motherfuckers, up is your game.
And rapping and tapping is my game, as I'm tapping my cane right here. You guys can't see it, but I'm doing it. It was a perfect moment. Anyways.
And all you motherfuckers out there who have not subscribed to the show, go ahead and do that to get us right in your motherfucking ear holes every Thursday. I promise I'll try to get that out there. Woo, there's a fucking Santa Ana winds going on over here, so please excuse me, okay? We do it for you for the love of the game. We do it in a fucking hurricane. Dolemite is my name, and I just want to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to the podcast. You check us out on social media at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Let It Bleed Cast, all one word. And if you want to catch me, myself, and I, you can do that at Nobody Cares Phil on Instagram and at Phil Nobody Cares on Twitter. On Instagram, you'll find delightful content such as me in my costume from this year. I was Jackson Galaxy, the cat daddy. Cat behaviors by day, punk rocker by night, the star of My Cat from Hell.
You still look like Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder when he was just like, who are you? Who do you work for? He was like, I will skull fuck you.
Yes. That's how I talk to the cats.
he's like, what does he say? Like, I will, something about a hobo's dick cheese. That's all I remember him saying. So funny. All right, guys, man. We could go on forever with this crap, but you could go ahead and skip that shit and follow me on Hoodrat Stuff with 3 Fs, Psychedelic Lion's Den. That's psychedelic
that
underscore.
THC cartridge though.
That THC cartridge though. I'm like in a Psychedelic Lion's Den all by myself right now. Like there's like fucking frogs up in here. My room is really like, it's kind of creepy. It's kind of like a Brixby Bearish type of room. It's all retro and it's got like little kid shit up, and it makes you really think like, does a 22-year-old live here or a 32-year-old or fuck how old?
And other things like, is that really my dad?
Is that really? Yeah. What? Yeah. Wait. What are all those skeletons back there? No. Anyways, tonight, come out, check us out at the Tiki Bar, and follow Psychedelic Lion's Den. And I'm taking a big break after tonight, and for November, probably not going to do anything other than the 2-year anniversary. So come out tonight and enjoy it, so I can just brag about it for the next few episodes.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this fucking nonsense. If you've made it this far, I salute you.
The wind's picking up.
And I thank you. And the wind's there we go. Getting wiped out in the wind. Oh, my allergies are already acting up. All right, everybody. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Drink lots of water. Put on your lotion because you don't want to be all ashy Larry. Put your chapstick on. Get your Visine with you. Do all that shit, you know, and get ready for some bomb shit to come your way. And as always, let it bleed.
Oh, I didn't really have to sneeze. I just wanted to have that sound effect at the